Turkey launched the first of 6 new submarines based on a German design, to update its current fleet of 12 submarines, Turkish media said. The launch comes at a time when Turkey is at odds with Greece and Cyprus over territorial claims in the eastern Mediterranean. The Turkish government signed a deal with the internationally recognized government of Libya last month that sees the two as maritime neighbors. Greece and Cyprus say it ignores their own territorial waters and is meant to block the route for a gas pipeline to Europe. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan launched the Piri Reis submarine from a dry dock in the town of Gülcük on the Marmara Sea on Wednesday. The Piri Reis will come into service in 2022 and is the first of 6 German-designed Type 214 submarines that Turkey plans to be operational by 2027. Turkey's submarine fleet currently consists of 12 vessels based on the German Type 209 design. 6 of those will be replaced by the new Type 214 submarines, which feature silent cruising capabilities, and are armed with guided missiles and torpedoes. Turkey also has plans to design and build its own submarines, but that could take another decade. Turkey remains a military power that should not be trifled with, despite the massive dismissals of army officers following a failed coup attempt in 2016, analyst Kyle Mizokami said in the National Interest on Friday. Turkey has one of the most powerful armed forces in Europe or Asia, with an air force consisting of nearly 300 F-16 Fighting Falcons and a naval force with more than a dozen submarines and a marine infantry brigade, the analyst said. Much of the Turkish military's equipment is foreign-made, but the country is currently making an effort to build up its military-industrial base, Mizokami said. From 2022 onwards, another submarine will be in service every year. In 2027, all 6 of our submarines will begin to serve at the disposal of our Navy. Before you can have confidence in our future as Turkey, we need to build a strong bridge from the past to the horse. For many years, our nation consciously wanted to forget history, culture, civilization, heroism and achievements. As if this nation and this state descended from the sky with a history of history in relation to the history of the attempted to be cut. Those who don't know the history of the nation ask us, what are you doing here at every step we take? The agreements we have signed with the legitimate Libyan administration are also within this framework. We no longer have the luxury of maintaining a silent and shy policy. Nobody comes to us with the intention of exclusion, imprisoning our shores. We are determined to fight to the fullest to protect our rights here. The memorandum of understanding we have with Libya does not contradict our own law or international law. There is absolutely no such thing as rights, law, justice, morality and mercy. The analyst said Turkish companies had been subcontractors for the program to build F-35 stealth fighters until the Pentagon suspended Turkey's participation to the program in July after Ankara started receiving Russian S-400 surface-to-air missile defense systems. Meanwhile, Turkey's TFX project, a $13 billion effort to offer a 5th-generation fighter to the international market, is aiming for first flight in 2025 and to enter service in 2028. Mizokami also listed 5 of the most powerful weapons in the Turkish military. As part of Turkey's contribution to the F-35 program, Turkish defense contractor Roketsan partnered with Lockheed Martin to develop the SOM, standoff missile, cruise missile. There are several versions of SOM under development, but the most advanced is probably SOM-J, which has a range of 155 miles and a high-explosive warhead designed to be effective against hardened targets, Mizokami said. Turkey operates several hundred German-made Leopard 2A4, but the tanks lack many of the improvements, he said. The Turkish Air Force operates one of the largest F-16 fleets outside of the United States, the analyst said. The Turkish military uses 158 F-16Cs in the fighter role and 87 in the trainer role. Turkey not only flies the F-16, it is one of only a handful of countries to manufacture the aircraft, Mizokami said, adding that the experience had been gained by its role in the manufacturing of F-16s had helped Turkey develop TFX. Turkey operates 14 Type 209 submarines, one of the largest undersea fleets in Mediterranean, and now placed to replace the oldest of the 209s with 6 new race-class Type 214 submarines to be built in Gülcük Naval Shipyard in Izmir under license from Germany, the analyst said. In addition, Turkey hosts an estimated 90 B-61 nuclear bombs at Incirlik Air Base in the southern province of Adana, with 50 allocated to U.S. Air Force pilots and 40 allocated to Turkish Air Force pilots, he said.
Turkey to boost naval strength with 6 new submarines to go into service in 2022 to 2027. Expanding its locally made arsenal, Turkey continues its works on a fleet of 6 new submarines that will boost Turkish naval strength. The country plans to launch 1 submarine every year between 2022 and 2027. Turkey on Sunday achieved another milestone in its new Type Submarine Project, which looks to boost the capabilities of the Turkish Navy in the Aegean and Mediterranean seas. In a ceremony at the Gülcük shipyard in northwestern Turkey, the Piraeus race, the first submarine developed as part of the project, hit the water in line with the next phase of production. The ceremony also featured the ceremonial welding of the first sheet of metal on the 5th ship, the Sidiyali race. In a speech to mark the occasion, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said a total of 6 new submarines, 1 each year, would join the Turkish naval forces between 2022 and 2027. The country launched the construction of the first submarine, the Piraeus race, 4 years ago, Erdogan said, emphasizing that the submarine would be put into service in 2022. Besides the Piraeus race, the president recalled that the country had earlier overseen the inaugural first welding on another 3 submarines, the Hit Sirius, the Murat race, and the Aden race, and initiated their construction processes. Turkey is constructing a fleet of 6 new Type 214 air-independent propulsion submarines as part of a contract signed with German ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems in 2009. Construction on the first boat in the class, the TCG Piraeus race, started in 2015. Erdogan said the construction of the latest submarine in the class, the Selman Reis, would be initiated by the end of next year. He said he hoped that the submarines would be of use to the country, the nation, the army, and the sailors. He emphasized that each of the submarines was named after truly monumental personalities. While the Piraeus race has now been pulled to the water, the equipment of the second submarine Hit Sirius, as well as the hull manufacturing of the third and fourth submarines, continues. The project is being carried out by the Defense Industry Presidency, SSB. Submarines will have the ability to perform long-term operations in confidentiality, high-speed advanced torpedoes, and guided missile that can be thrown to surface targets, including land. The submarines have a length of 68.35 meters, an outer diameter of 6.3 meters, a displacement of 1,850 tons, and a capacity of 40 personnel. The submarines are the first in the Turkish Navy to use a fuel cell technology known as Type 214, as well as an air-independent propulsion system. Equipped with weapons against the underwater, surface, and land targets, the submarines are capable of firing many types of torpedoes and missiles as well as laying mines. Conducted in coordination with main contractor ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems, the new Type Submarine Project is of strategic importance and involves the completion of multidimensional targets such as technology transfer, infrastructure development, technical personnel training, product localization, and industrialization for underwater technologies and submarine platforms. Turkish defense contractors are taking part in the delivery of a majority of submarine systems. The submarines use systems developed by Aselsan, Havelsan, MilSoft, Defense Technologies Engineering and Trade Incorporated, STM, KOC Information and Defense, Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey, TÜBİTAK, and ISAS, while local manufacturers such as Gürdasan, Sirena Marine, Eritas, iMarine are also contributing to the construction process. The gains achieved thus far, in terms of maximizing domestic industry participation, will be a strong reference for domestic and national submarines intended to be built under the National Submarine, Milestone, project. Works on the Submarine Information Distribution System, dubbed the heart of the new Type Submarine, started in 2011 and was developed by Havelsan, which used real-time embedded software technology for the system. Meanwhile, seamless integration was achieved with 105 different units within the submarine.